Want some candy?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
I hear you looking for candy, man, bitch.
Give me some sugar, baby. Like scary movies.
Want some candy?
I'm smoking you anyway.
Ho, ho, ho! The air is cold. The snow is white. We're gonna have some fun tonight. 'Tis the season, so have a blast. Merry Christmas, candy killers. This is Monster Candy Podcast. What's up, everybody? This is one of your hosts of Monster Candy Podcast, Screaming from the Memphis Murdermen. And with me, as always, is Oubliette, the most badass keyboard player in the whole world from Tsunami Bomb, which is also where Dom is from, except Dom's not here. And Shotzi is out doing some wrestling shit, although she did give me her score for this movie.
Oh.
Yeah, I just talked to her. She just watched it. But anyway, we have a special guest on for tonight, guys. It's a man who's been with us from the beginning, supporting us, a Tsunami Bomb fan, and he is the man from Texas, Francisco.
Thank y'all so much for having me. This is a ton of fun.
Hell yeah.
Looking forward to this.
You should be a wrestler with that name. The Great
Don't thank us
Francisco.
yet.
The Great Francisco.
Right? That's it. That's it. That's your new name.
I get the line from Elf a lot. It's fun to say. But no, thank y'all for having me.
Thank you for being here. Now, tonight, for a very special Christmas episode, we are going to discuss the 1997 Christmas movie, Jack Frost.
Yes.
But not the one with Michael Keaton, the other Jack Frost.
No, which I think came out in the same year.
Yeah, it's not in the same year.
I think I watched the wrong one. Just fine.
That would have been rad though if you did.
I don't remember that part.
I mean, they're probably equally scary. Okay, they came out 1 year apart.
Yeah.
1 year apart. Because there was some confusion in my household when I told somebody they should watch that movie.
Right. So yes, Jack Frost, everybody. But before we get into that, it's time for yeah, the Great Francisco on the fucking spot with the.
He's the first guest that knows what we're doing,
right?
I know.
Everyone else just stares at us confused.
Who has some horror news, guys?
I do.
Ooh.
Anne Rice is dead.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
She died. But that's horror news, but that's horror news everybody knows. There's something that came out of it that I thought was kind of interesting.
Ooh.
So where I live, a woman that I've become friends with, she is a local author, but she also
is a vampire.
Possibly. But she is a very famous interviewer. Like, she's interviewed everybody in the world. But when Anne Rice passed, she posted an interview she did with her that I actually, I remember the uproar regarding the interview, but I was young and didn't actually read it. And I read it, and she had interviewed her right as they had announced Tom Cruise was going to play Lestat, and everybody was pissed about it because
he's
obviously lizard people. But what I didn't know that was kind of interesting is some of the people that they originally wanted to play those characters, and Cher was one of them, which I don't know about. But the other one, because both main vampires were supposed to be very androgynous.
Cher.
But here's the one that they were really pushing for, which I think would have been awesome is Angelica Houston.
Okay. Can see that.
Yeah,
Think
that'd
about
be
it.
good. Yeah.
I mean, I think if in that time period anyone could have kind of played like a cross-gender androgynous sort of role, like she could have been fucking great in that. I almost think she would have done good with like the Armand character
Yeah.
that Antonio
Yeah.
Banderas played, but I could also still totally see her in the Lestat character.
But how old? I mean, Angelica Houston. When did
Yeah, but
Interview
this
with the
was
Vampire come out?
90s.
Yeah. Early 90s.
How
I mean,
old
it
was
would
she?
have. I mean, it would have been about the time she did The Witches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that'd have been interesting.
It's a good interview though. But a couple of those things they mentioned some other actors, but that was the one that kind of stuck out. And now I need a time machine so somebody can go back and send Angelica Houston back or talk to younger Angelica Houston and make her do that movie, because I guess it sounded like she turned it down.
And kill Tom Cruise.
Well, he can't die, but
It's true.
we could maybe change the course.
Lestat.
I mean, he's Xenu or whatever, isn't he? Isn't that the thing that's supposed to be the surprise one day?
Maybe. Fucking Tom Cruise.
That it was just him all along.
I know he has like a tooth right in the middle of his face.
Like a giant.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, he's just a fucking weird dude.
Yeah.
If he's even a dude. Like, I don't know.
Or if he's even human. Who knows? Who fucking knows?
Right. Exactly. That's
probably
that's
listening
I
right
mean,
now.
I wouldn't be surprised. Probably we're all gonna die. Say like we should just not even talk about him anymore.
Probably.
Him and Nick Cage are just kicking back and listen to this.
Nick Cage.
No, they will be the final battle.
Speaking
Oh,
of Nick Cage, Oubliette, do you have any other horror news?
I mean, I saw something about him, but go on.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm going to talk about. So, okay, Renfield, where Nicolas Cage is set to play Count Dracula.
Yep.
How do we think this movie's going to go?
Well, I just saw that they casted someone else, and I'm not really entirely sure who this person is, but some actor people are excited about, but he's going to play a mobster. So I'm very curious as to how a mobster is going to play into the story of Dracula and Renfield.
Yeah, isn't it the guy from Parks and Rec?
Oh, the one that was obsessed with Leslie Knope?
I think the dark-haired guy.
I mean, there's a lot of
Yeah.
yeah.
It's been a long time since I've seen that. Watch
Oh
that
yeah,
show.
it is. It's
Is
the creepy guy that was always trying to scam people, that was obsessed with Leslie Knope. And I only know this because my husband has been going to sleep watching Parks and Rec, and last night was the last episode where he's super sad she's leaving and being super creepy like always, and he fakes his own funeral.
Yeah.
John Ralphio.
Is that his name? Yeah.
I think the character is John Ralphio.
Yeah. Yep.
So this movie, huh? I mean,
So this movie definitely isn't going to be serious.
100% not. I mean,
what
it
if
might
it's
be.
100% serious?
Nicolas Cage won't be, but all I imagine is him playing the fucking was it Once Bitten? Was that the movie he was in? The vampire movie?
Yeah.
That's all I think. He's just do a bunch of dumb shit, but God
It'd be
bless
so great
Nicolas-
if everyone plays it off the wall and he tries to play it serious.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Oh, you know he totally would too.
Totally switch it up.
I just
But it would
hope that he goes method before they start filming.
Yes. But it would still be
'Cause
in
I
his
want-
wheelhouse to be completely opposite everyone else in the fucking movie. You'd be like, God
No,
damn it,
totally.
Nicolas
But
Cage.
you know, I was so amused by his drunk in Vegas story that I really hope he goes method for this and just like goes around biting people or just doing some weird Nick Cage shit.
Oh,
'Cause
I'm
he
sure.
could totally get away with it. And if I was him, I would totally try to get away with it.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it's going to happen.
You mean regular Nick Cage shit?
Yeah. Yeah, that's just him. I mean, if it's anything like Prisoners of the Ghostland, which I kind of hope it is. Did you watch that, Francisco, or check that one
I
out?
haven't watched it yet. No.
Oh boy, it's bad. It's bad.
I still haven't finished it.
It's so bad. I watched it twice.
I haven't gotten far past the ball explosion.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it gets even more ridiculous.
And I love a lot of those weird.
Hi, fucking yeah. It's my favorite part of that whole fucking movie.
And I love some of the ridiculous, over-the-top Japanese movies, but I feel like this was just, I don't even know. I don't know. I'm going to have to really be in a mood to be able to watch it.
I mean, none of it made sense.
Or recovering from surgery and drugged up, or I don't know. Something.
Yeah, something. Because, I mean, it didn't make sense. I just watched it 2 times going, what the
Twice.
fuck? Twice. Once was a total, what the fuck is going on? And then the second time, I'm like, all right, I kind of know what's going on. It's making a little more sense. But still not making enough sense. I saw he's also going to
play himself.
What's that?
I saw that.
Yeah, it keeps coming up in my feed now since my feed thinks I love Nick Cage, but he's in some movie playing himself about wickedly over talented people. Something ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, if that's not Nick Cage, then I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking Nick Cage. He's gonna wear me down.
Is it?
And then I'm gonna be.
Oh, Nick Cage plays himself in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That's the name of the movie.
Perfect.
Yeah, there's a trailer if you want to check it out. So go ahead and do that
to myself.
But I do have one more horror news.
Okay.
I forgot.
Go for it.
So they selected 25 films to go to the National Film Registry in the Library of Congress, and A Nightmare on Elm Street made the list.
It did. I saw
nice.
It. Good for Robert Englund. And
good for Robert Englund. Good for the Library of fucking Congress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Because there's some real snooze fests in there.
Well, now it's got good company. Night of the Living Dead's in there, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, my horror news is Gun Media, who did a video game about Friday the 13th, where you played against Jason. They're coming out with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I saw that.
Interesting.
So that should be pretty fun.
I don't partake in the video games, but horror video games are always cool.
Always.
You don't play any video games?
Nah, fam.
Weird.
Yeah, not
too busy watching Nick Cage movies twice.
Yeah, I'm too busy fucking stalking Nick Cage. I mean, somebody has to. Fuck.
That's
so yeah, there's
true.
that. I do have one more, since it is a fucking Christmas episode and we're giving all these presents. So Guillermo del Toro would love to adapt Stephen King's Pet Cemetery.
Interesting.
Which I hope he does.
Just redo it.
Another version?
Yeah. I mean, so he can cleanse my palate.
He has a new movie coming out, Nightmare Alley.
Yeah, this is true as well.
Yeah.
Well, he's a mover and a shaker, and if I trust anyone to remake any sort of good movie, horror movie especially, it's going to be that guy. Because I think he knows what's up, But that remake that happened 3 years ago was trash. So I need a palate cleanser.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one all the way through either.
It was rough. It was real rough.
But when I was just in Maine, I don't know, a few months ago before the summer, I went and did a couple hikes that were parts of the original movie, which was cool. Because I didn't know until I was already there.
So you buried somebody in the ground and they came back?
No, but there were parts where I wanted to bury myself because we did some serious hiking that was a little bit longer than I would have preferred. But
that sounds terrible.
Yeah, usually the small dog, the Chihuahua, will act really tired and get me out of it. But he fucking loved Acadia Park so much. We were doing 8 or 9 miles a day. and he just like would wake up at 6 a.m. ready to go again. And I just really wanted to eat fried seafood, but it was fine. It was beautiful. It was super fun. But yeah, Pet Cemetery stuff.
That's cool. Anything else on your end there, the great Francisco?
No, it's about all I can think of.
All right. That, folks, is all right. So let's get into this wonderful fucking movie, Jack.
Oh, hold on. Before we do it, I got one thing.
Oh,
it's not horror news though.
Okay.
But it's about the dark and the wicked.
We love the dark and the wicked, so
I'm here for it.
So over Thanksgiving, I went out to Vermont to stay with my sister-in-law and her husband. And they live on some property kind of out in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of sheep because she trains like dogs to herd sheep. She listens to our podcast and she loves it. But I guess she doesn't watch very many horror movies, or not as many as she used to. So everyone went to bed early but us. And I was like, well, what do you want to watch?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm pretty tired, so nothing very long, like nothing too long. And she's like, I don't know, just put on whatever. I never get to watch movies because much like, my marriage, we like separate kind of different stuff, whatever. So I was like, how about The Dark on the Wicked? And she's like, yeah. And I can tell she's trying to play it cool, but I'm like thinking like, all the lights are on. I'm here. She knows I've seen it. I get more freaked out if I'm by myself. So we end up watching it, and like maybe, I don't know, half of the way through, and it made me feel good because I still will read reviews of it where people say it's boring as fuck and not scary and like hereditary and just like brooding and artsy. And I really didn't feel that from that. Like that movie had visuals that freaked me the fuck out. But about halfway through, it was
definitely not artsy.
The acting was good.
Yeah.
And it was well written. So if that's artsy, fine. But it was funny. So halfway through, I noticed her like on her phone, and I'm like, fuck, man. Like she thinks this shit's boring. I really thought, she'd like it or whatever. So then she's like watching for a minute and she gets back on her phone. So I'm kind of standing on the side where I can see her phone. So I'm like, what the fuck is she doing? Thinking maybe it's work or whatever. She's actually doing nothing. She's like swiping through apps and just like touching things and closing them. And I finally realized that she's so fucking scared. She's just, pushing through her phone to try to not look at the TV. So I finally called her out, and I'm like, I was like, you're scared. She's like, I'm fine. Why would you say that? And I was like, because you're doing the kind of shit I would do where you're just like looking for something else to make you do something. So you're not looking straight at the screen and just paying attention to it. She's like, you're right. And I'm like, it's okay. This movie's almost over. I was like, just watch. But it was awesome. At the end, she totally loved it. But then she was just like, fuck you. I live on a bunch of fucking acres with sheep. My husband goes out of town. Like, I'm here alone all the time. And I'm like, well, I'm glad I could share the love, because same shit happens over at my house, minus the sheep. But anyhow, I was excited to spread the love and have another person appreciate it and not think that it was boring and not scary and dull, because it was not dull. That movie was fucking scary. Okay. Now we can talk about Jack Frost.
Woo! Jack fucking Frost, 1997. All right.
Oh, man.
So this movie was better than I remember it being.
Oh, my God. So we did this movie because Oubliette was like, dude, Jack Frost. Yeah, I'm like, all right. Okay.
It was because of the snowman rape. I just remember snowman rape.
You heard it here,
and
folks.
I wanted to revisit it.
So 1997 film directed by Michael Cooney and starring Shannon Elizabeth. It was her first movie role and her first new scene.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't realize that. It was pre-boob job.
Yeah.
So I didn't recognize her.
Yeah. There was a lot of things. But yes, Jack Frost. Let's talk about this.
Oh,
yeah.
Fucking man. Shitbag.
One of my favorite parts is how many green trees there are in the background.
There's lots of green trees.
Yeah.
And
Well, the one thing
my
I did
other
notice-
favorite thing about the movie is that there's this rapey snowman. And I like the characters' responses to the snowman in varying degrees of terror and confusion.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed. So
Yes.
let's give a little backstory in case somebody out there hasn't watched this thing. So here's the storyline, folks. It's a serial killer. A serial killer is genetically mutated in a car wreck on the way to his execution, after which he becomes a murdering snowman, hell-bent on revenge for the sheriff who caught him. Right. So I will say I did like, I don't know if this was an intentional, like, hey, let's give a little nod to Evil Dead 2. But when he gets hit with the acid, it's the totally same effect as when all the blood came out of the walls after he shot it. And it was about the only thing I liked in the movie.
Oh, come on.
Don't get me wrong.
curmudgeon.
Don't get me wrong. This movie was probably super fun to fucking make and be in. But I can't believe someone actually made this movie, and two, got people to actually be in it.
There's 4 of them.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It is so funny.
Mm.
I was so entertained.
I was entertained more than I probably should have been. I remember watching it almost 20 years ago and thinking, damn, that's a pretty shitty movie in a fun way. And then I watched it again and I was like, it's a pretty shitty movie in a fun way.
I mean, it's a horror comedy.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is. I mean, yeah.
It was. It says it. I remember when I rented it on VHS that it was a horror comedy.
I mean, yeah, you're right. It is. But it is not one
And
that
that shit is funny.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny.
I don't know if I can agree with that
Oh my
statement.
God. Okay, so you watched Ghostland or whatever the fuck the movie's name is 2 times. You need to watch this again.
That's
and
like a
just,
fucking train wreck.
I know, but
I-
you need to watch this the second time and just take off all the funny quotes from it. That's one pissed off snow cone.
I've
That
watched
shit
it
had me
3
rolling.
times already.
Rolling.
I've watched it 3 times already. And it's still as bad as it was the first time I ever saw it and all the other times.
That's the brilliance of this movie. It's
The movie
it's
that
not
never
trying to
gets
be-
better.
Exactly.
There were
Well, it got
I will give it, there were some good quotes. The great Francisco had alluded to one earlier. I actually had it written down. He said, well, it ain't fucking Frosty.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, I can understand why people would like this movie or find it amusing. I'm just not one of those people.
What I thought was funny was that, the whole premise is that he's trying to get revenge on the sheriff that caught him, but nobody in the sheriff's family dies. It's all just this one family that has nothing to do with anything. What I thought was hilarious, if you paid attention, that when the kid gets run over with the sled and his head pops off, and the sheriff's like, oh, he's 2 feet taller than my boy. And in the background, somebody's like, not anymore, he ain't.
That's what I mean. It's so funny.
I mean,
I'm laughing.
like I said, I can see
So
why people would
dumb.
like it or find it amusing. And I guess it has its charm. But the kid was not into it.
It's just, I think you need a little whimsy in your life there, buddy. You need a little whimsy in the form of a rapey snowman to just creep right in there.
Rapey snowman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the bath scene. The Shannon Elizabeth
dude.
bath scene.
It's so good.
And we're
Sorry.
back.
I'm
Yeah,
just
so-
laughing at myself over here.
Fucking bathtub rape scenes.
Yeah. It
Rapey
was a lot.
snowman.
Did y'all get the feeling that the couple that got killed were very much like Archie Bunker and All in the Family?
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, the wife is very just on Valium or something. I mean, son dies, and she's like, "Oh, he gets kind of angry." Like,
That's what I mean.
whatever.
It's so funny.
It is definitely absurd.
See, as you're reminding me of parts, I'm just gonna sit here and laugh because
They sound
Yeah.
a lot better when you're talking about them than when I actually watched it. There's that.
maybe
Like,
because
I
you
would
just
say-
didn't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, out of all the deaths, the wife's is just so over the top,
Yeah.
wrapping her in the lights and Christmas ornaments.
Yeah. I don't even know what else to say about this fucking movie except it was dumb.
It was.
But it's supposed to be
It was
dumb.
so great.
It is supposed to be dumb, but not the kind of dumb I like. I don't know. I don't know. I that's all I got. That's all I got with this movie. It was dumb and there's some gore in it and some good one-liners. So
That's why it's so good. Like the one-liners. Like remember after he fucking raped that chick and he was like, he said something like, "Christmas came a little early this year. I need to remember to send flowers." Dude, it's so good. It's so good. And like the pissed off snow cone part, the Picasso part, like it's all funny.
Yeah.
Remember when the truck hit him?
yes.
And he's literally like, "Somebody get the number for that truck." Like,
Yeah.
it's so dumb. See,
And
you guys are
it's a-
both laughing right now when we're talking about it. It's a funny
As he's
fucking
flying through
movie.
the air, he's like, "I can see your house from up here."
Speaking of that, no, I didn't look into this, but is there like a really, really old movie that said that? Because I know that was in Hot Shots. If you remember Hot Shots, fucking Charlie
I
Sheen.
remember Hot Shots with Charlie Sheen and
Yeah,
the
well,
chicken
it's
and
when-
Rambo. Yeah.
At least one of the times, because it happened twice. One of the guys gets hit by the ambulance and he flying in the air. He's like, "I could see my house from here." Or there was a jet scene and he got flung into the air. He's like, "I could see my house from here." So I don't know if it was from that or there's like an old movie that actually has that line in it that all these movies are just using, but
I don't know.
should have done research on it, but I just couldn't bring
Yeah,
myself.
I
I
bet.
really don't care that much. Anyway.
Dude, he even makes like snowman testicle jokes when he says like
Yeah.
whatever. It seems like it's, or does anybody knows it's cold in here or some shit. It's funny. It's
Yeah.
fucking
What?
funny.
What's the difference between a snowman and a snow woman? Snowballs. Yeah.
But there were a lot of inconsistencies that just had me scratching my head. Like, you're the sheriff of the entire town, and you're going through like a police blockade, and they just tell you, "Oh, keep moving." You're like, "Oh, okay. I'm not even gonna ask any questions. I'm just gonna keep going."
Well, that would
Well,
have threw a monkey wrench
Yeah.
into this whole movie.
Yeah, exactly. That would have ended the movie right there.
Oubliette's like,
what do you guys get
"Fuck
when you
you."
cross a snowman with a vampire, guys?
What's that?
What?
Frostbite. Or Nicolas Cage
Or Nicolas
with
Cage.
fangs wearing the costume from Jack Frost
Now, see, that's what was made.
Method
That's
acting.
what this movie was missing. Was Nick
Oh,
Cage?
man. If
as a vampire.
if
Yeah.
Nick Cage remade it, and he was Jack Frost.
He wouldn't even wear a snowman costume. He'd just like have a carrot stuck to his face and be
Or
a
just paint
creep.
his nose fucking orange.
He'd be in like a black leather jacket with greasy hair, just like
Oh
Playing pinball.
I can't.
That would have been great. But yeah, man, I don't know. I cannot get behind this movie, and a lot of people fucking love it. A lot of people do. I can't.
Really, you think a lot of people do, or just like a few people who are slightly off?
I mean, you gotta
There's
love it
probably
for how
that
bad
too,
it
but
is.
a lot of people that I've seen online, fucking Jack Frost. Oh, this movie's so fucking terrible. I love it. It is. You're right. It is terrible. You know, I guess it has a place in some people's hearts. So,
How do you guys know when a snowman's in your bed?
are you just looking up snowman jokes now?
Ow.
No, yeah. But this one is supposed to be a kid's joke, but is it really? How do you know when a snowman's in your bed?
How?
I don't know.
You wake up wet. See, I could be the next Jack Frost.
There you go.
Yeah. You could be.
I knew there'd
In
be
the
a dirty one in there.
In the gender swap reboot.
Mhm.
There you go.
Oh, here's another one that could be dirty. What does a snowman's wife put on her face at night?
Oh man.
Snowball goggles.
Cold cream.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Well, it failed because I didn't do my Jack Frost voice. If I would have done that, it would have been a lot funnier, but I can only do that once a night.
Yeah.
Otherwise I drain all my energy and have to recharge. Don't have any
man.
adrenochrome tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you have to be drunk or something.
I was gonna say I don't think so, but I think I was pretty drunk when I watched it. I stayed up way too late. I started watching the sequel and got halfway through and put myself to bed.
I love Shudder, and we all love Shudder. And it almost sucked me in. I was almost there checking to see how shitty the next one was, but I resisted. It's like, I can't do it. Can't do it.
Yeah. They're on like vacation. It was like Weekend at Bernie's, but Jack Frost.
That makes sense.
That's a mashup. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a mashup. They should have done that.
Well,
There's still time.
Yeah.
We should talk to Nick Cage about that.
Oh yes.
Would he be Bernie or would he be Jack Frost?
I think
both?
he'd be both. So I'm kind of like flip the script. It would be like Freaky Friday, but Weekend at Bernie's Jack Frost.
I
Nick
could see
Cage.
that. And they have some pretty good technology now that they could make that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it'd be good. I don't want to say the word good, but it would be I'd want to watch it.
I'd watch it.
It would be something.
I think Nicolas Cage should do a Jack Frost Weekend at Bernie's mashup where he plays every character.
That's too much. You got to max out at 2, possibly 3 characters, but only if the third one is either elderly or a child.
All of them.
Well,
I don't know why I feel like
Austin
that
the
would be
other day.
okay.
I
Mhm.
drove into Austin the other day and went to this record store, and I have a picture. I'm gonna post it, but it was a rack of nothing but Nick Cage movies.
What?
Immediately
I Love
thought
Video?
of y'all. It was Waterloo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it.
See that?
He is becoming the new pop culture icon.
Yeah.
Man, he was it's just like an honest progression of his shit. He's always been doing shit like
He's
this.
like communism. It takes a while. And then boom, it's everywhere. Nick Cage.
I feel
just
like he would
communism.
actually appreciate that.
Probably in some weird way. Or not weird way, just the Nick Cage way. Be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, all way is Nick Cage way when you're Nick Cage.
Fucking Jack Frost, huh?
Yep.
Fucking Jack Frost.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed in you just kind of deflated my
I knew you would be.
snowman.
As soon as I saw how excited you were when you said you wanted to do this movie, I was gonna pick.
Let me crush her dreams.
I was gonna pick Gremlins, but Oubliette was like, "Fucking Jack Frost, we got to do it." I'm like,
Well, I saw when Oubliette posted on Instagram that she was watching. I was like, "Yep, that's Jack Frost."
yep.
Mhm. Oh yeah, that's
Right.
right. I just posted the intro, and you were like, "I know what that is."
I was like, "Gotta watch the movie again."
Yeah.
See? And now you're talking about it. Little
I-
did you know.
I went
Here.
in. I went in with an open mind. I was like, okay, I need to watch this movie again because it's been a long time since I have. Well, I think I watched it last year, and I just forgot about it. So
Mhm.
I said, all right, I'm gonna watch it again. Oobzilla, let's go. And I immediately regretted my decision of watching that movie.
You regretted your decision. You watch stuff that includes crap all the time.
I just watched
And you don't
Solo
say
over
you-
and over and over again.
And you don't say that you regret it. So I think that's a little you just trying to turn the knife right now.
Swear to God. I wanted to love it for you. I wanted to really like
No,
it.
I don't want you to love it. I mean, I don't care if there's a little pain in it if I make something painful slightly for you, but right now I don't believe that you're saying you wasted your time watching it.
He's like, I wanted to like Jack Frost, but I didn't. And so now I'm gonna go watch classy movies like Solo.
Hell yeah.
Or Adventures in Ghostland or whatever the fuck that thing's called.
Equally classy.
Nick Cage and Ghostland
Twice.
is all it should be.
Yeah, let's watch
Like I said,
6
that movie,
hours or however much of that.
That movie was such a train wreck that I was confused by it. I thought maybe I missed something.
How many times did you watch Mandy?
Once to do it. So we did the episode on it. And then when everyone was like just tossing ropes about how fucking great Mandy was, I rethought that and I was like, maybe I missed something. What didn't I get that everyone, or not everyone, but a lot of people, and it still was fucking terrible. I mean, the first half is terrible. The second half was just a gore fest, so I could get down with that. And it was Nick Cage being Nick Cage for the rest of that movie, the second half.
Yeah.
So, and then that's been it.
Okay, just checking because I thought maybe you were going to be like, oh, I loved it so much. And then I'd be like, yeah, that's why you hate Jack Frost.
Like I said, I can see
like right there
why people find this amusing.
I think that's the right word for it. Amusing. It's not good. Cheesy.
Oh, I think it's a bad movie, but I think it's funny.
Yeah.
What they fill the truck up with at the end, was it antifreeze?
Antifreeze.
Yeah.
Because the little boy put it in.
What else would you fill it up with?
Yeah. Didn't he worry about getting Jack Frost all up in him as Jack Frost is melting in the antifreeze? And he's gurgling antifreeze.
See, you're making me laugh again. It's so funny. Oh, man. That's a kicker, you know? Funny shit.
When he takes over that guy's body and then like,
oh yeah,
stumbles out and then he pukes him up and he's like, don't eat the yellow snow.
See, you're laughing again. You are laughing again. You can't say it was a waste of time.
But it's it's funny to hear about it, but to have to sit there and watch it, I can't do that. I love hearing you guys talk about it. It's so great. Yeah.
I feel like you needed a friend to watch it with.
A
so
drunk
you guys
friend.
could talk about it together. Or if you have a friend that smokes a lot of pot, that they would have made you laugh, maybe.
That would work too, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't do either of those, and I feel like I would probably need to enjoy this movie the way it should be enjoyed. Possibly.
You drink alcohol sometimes, don't you?
I do not. I mean, I'll do a shot every once in a while for like a celebration, but
yeah, I was gonna say I thought that you
but a shot
like
won't
an
get me drunk.
aperitif or something.
Yeah, no. Shot will not do it. Maybe 3, and I'll start feeling a little fuzzy. Maybe get the giggles a little bit.
And then watch Jack Frost.
And then what? This movie is fucking great. How could I not love this movie?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna pay someone to like waterboard you with whiskey and turn on Jack Frost for like
I would
3
probably
days
enjoy
straight.
that more than watching the fucking movie.
But it's gonna be a all immersive experience.
Like, don't stop, just keep going. I don't want to watch that movie. Yeah, so fucking Jack Frost, man.
Fucking Jack Frost.
I don't know. I'm tapped out. That's I literally have 5 things in notes on it, and that was it. I just couldn't get into it, no matter how many times I watched it.
It's a shame.
Yeah. Boo this man. Everyone can boo me. But
everybody's arguing over whether Die Hard's a Christmas movie. I'm like, just watch Jack Frost.
No, I'm fine. I'm not. No, I've gotten past getting mad at you about stuff like that because
you've accepted me.
No, not that.
I'll never accept you.
No, That's not true. I've accepted you since the beginning. I wouldn't do this fucking show if I didn't. Well, maybe. But you've already broken my heart with other movies, so.
Motel Hell is like a 5 compared to Jack Frost.
Okay. Didn't you give Psycho Goreman a shit score too?
No, I feel like I gave that like a 2 or 2.5.
That's like an awful score.
Not on my
and I think
scale.
I think you gave The Hunt a bad score.
No, I gave The Hunt like a 3 or something.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Nightbreed.
I think I might have given that like a 1.5. I can't remember.
Yeah, exactly.
It was low.
So yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But there was one that I got kind of mad at you about. I can't remember though. Luckily, I'm one of those people that the anger just
blind you. I'm like, ah.
No, it just goes away. I get angry and then I forget about it. So,
well,
but I think that we should let Francisco give it a score first.
Yeah, let's go. The great
unless you
Francisco.
Unless you want to be last to be the
save the best for last. I don't know.
I'll go last.
Yeah. He's like, I'm back. Clean up, motherfuckers.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Oubliette, do you want to go first?
Sure.
All right.
I give
my God. Here we
Jack Frost a solid 2.25.
Okay. That's not, see, I thought you were going to be way higher.
No. Making me laugh is worth so many candy corn. So many. Putting a smile on my face. It's great. But if we are talking about how good the movie is and how good of a horror movie it is, everything else, it's like in the low middles.
Entertaining.
But that's also saying that most shit that comes out to me that I watch is in like the 0.25, really. And
right.
I don't ever want to talk about it again because there's just a lot of shit. So there is kind of a sliding scale there.
Okay.
If I was to give it a score on all horror movies ever made, it would probably be more in like a 3.5 because there's some real shit out there. But we're not talking about that stuff. So
we are not talking about that stuff. All right, so I guess it's my turn. I'll give Miss Shotzi Blackheart, the baldy badass herself. I'll give her score first, which shocked me. But she did just watch it, she said. And I don't know. I feel like she probably wasn't watching it a lot as she watched it. Because she gave it a 3 Frosty murderous candy corn snowmen.
I mean, it could be a 3.
She was like, it was funny. So I said, hey, 3? That's your final thing. I gave her an out. She was like, yeah, I think so. I was like, all right, we're going to hold you to that.
Well, you know what, though? If you're having like a real shit day and you pop yourself like a glass of wine and you watch this, it could be a 3. I think it's one of those movies that just depends because it can brighten your day.
I could see
it could also just make you really annoyed that someone picked to do it for a podcast and you didn't feel like watching it, and then you didn't get any of the jokes. So there's that.
There is that. I guess it could be. My score might actually come up a little bit because you did bring up a good point, Oobzilla, that if you are having a shit day, putting that on, well, I don't know, it could go either way. If you're having
it's a watchable movie
and you put it on, you and like you said, have some wine, get some stuff in you, may giggle a little bit, or you could just be like, fuck, this movie fucking sucks just like this goddamn day. Fuck.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm sure more people would go the other way and giggle a little bit. So I will give it.
I think that if your friends like act it out and say the quotes too, and it makes you laugh, that maybe kind of puts it into perspective. Maybe you're being a little hard on it, just a little. Maybe.
I don't know. I was
maybe just throwing it out there.
I was pretty unhappy watching this movie twice. But my initial score was 1 Frosty murderous cute snowman candy corns. Was 1, but Oubliette has lifted my spirits, and it is Christmas time.
Uh-huh.
The time of giving.
Right? It's Christmas time in Hollis. So I will give it 1.5.
It's
Frosty.
a Christmas miracle.
See? I'm like fucking Ebenezer Scrooge. Now I could go find a handicapped
Thank
kid
you,
to
Mr. Scrooge.
give him a snowman or some shit. Or whatever Ebenezer Scrooge did to Tiny Tim.
Well, at the end, he ended up giving Bob Ratchet and everybody like an awesome Christmas. But at first,
Right.
he was a real
Here's
dick.
some fucking
But he isn't the one
turkeys.
he isn't the one who made Tiny Tim like crippled.
Or was he?
That was a birth defect, and he grew up
So they
poor,
say.
couldn't get it
I think
fixed.
there's a little more story in that. I mean, there's a little backstory.
You think Scrooge's crooked dick made him?
Maybe.
He was Mrs.
Maybe.
Ratchet or
Or,
Patchett, whatever.
someone
Yeah.
had an accident. Oh, yeah. Oh, don't trip down those
His
stairs.
beat him with a cane.
Ratchet.
Maybe.
And then that didn't take. So, fucking
Medicine wasn't the same back then. So
see, exactly. Things have to happen when you're rich. So, yeah, 1.5.
Lizard
Merry
people.
fucking Christmas. Now,
Thanks.
the great Francisco.
So how high does this scale go again?
5.
I'm just playing.
For this movie, 3.
This movie is
How would you like a tsunami bomb song named after you? That'd be cool, right?
that would.
I'm just kidding.
awesome.
I'm just kidding. We'd never do
Oh.
that.
You fucking.
I'm kidding
crushed
again. We
his
totally
dreams
would.
right there. You should have waited till after he gave the inflated score for that thing, and then be like, "Yeah."
In that case, it's a 7. No.
Yeah.
Uh,
So 32.8. Yes.
this movie is
Bad.
like that friend you have that's kind of annoying, but you keep him around because he's still a pretty good dude, but he gets on your nerves, and sometimes you don't want him around. I would
Fair.
say I give this movie, for its enjoyability, 2.6. Cute
Ooh.
little
Ooh.
rapey snowmen,
Yeah.
candy
Nice.
corns. Yeah.
Oh, poor little candy corns got turned into racers.
Well, they
Aw.
gotta
He
get
did it to
some
himself.
sometimes.
I guess.
It's time for the little candy corns to become men, okay?
Yeah.
Or women,
Or women. Or
adults, or rapers,
people.
whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So that's an average of 2.34.
I mean, I do think people, if someone's never seen it, they should watch it at least once to either
Yes.
be like, "Oh, this movie was funny," or "Oh, it was great," or "Oh, it was fucking terrible." So yeah, you guys should check it out for sure,
Yeah.
and then never watch it again. Hopefully,
Or wait like
Or-
20
yeah,
bajillion years and then watch it again, and it might be funny.
maybe.
Or
Better
make it
than
a
you thought
Christmas
it was.
tradition.
Yeah, well, yeah, that'd be a downer of a Christmas
That'd be a
tradition.
ball humbug. Brrr.
How about watching that fucking
Ruin
movie
my
again?
Christmas. I just picture E like getting pissed off and then like stepping out, even though he doesn't live somewhere that snows right now, stepping outside in the snow and there's like a down power line and then he gets electrocuted and then all of a sudden he's the snowman.
I'm Jack Frost.
Oh man.
That I would be, then I'd be a rapey snowman. Huh.
Real question though, if you guys were snowmen, would you try to rape people?
Probably not.
Probably
maybe.
not. No.
I don't know.
See, yeah, I don't know. I mean, he didn't even have a dick.
Takes a special kind of snowman.
But he was snow, so he could have like literally.
He
he
could
can
have
make a snow
made
dick.
an ice dick.
Oh,
That's
yeah, he made
true.
those
But they
icicles.
never,
Yeah.
but they never showed it. He was just like round thing humping naked girl.
Well, he did put the carrot back on his
Yeah.
face afterwards.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, he's like Mr. Potato Head, but
Yeah.
a fucking snowman. The
Hmm.
possibilities are endless.
I don't know. I feel like if I was a snowman, I'd just like be bored.
One thing I didn't understand, which
Or
of
I'd roll
course,
down a hill. That'd be fun.
so when he was in the bathtub, wouldn't the water be cold, like freezing? Wouldn't she
Yeah,
have noticed?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, but not when she got in it, and then it turned, the whole fucking thing turned to snow. But
I
just
do
in
like that.
general, wouldn't have it been ice cold the minute she got in?
Maybe we should write, all these questions down and send them to the person who wrote the movie and see if they would answer us.
Like Michael Cooney and the other dude who wrote it. Who was the other guy that wrote it?
Like, do you think that maybe they had a scientist with them to make sure
No.
that it was accurate? No.
No, they were
Okay.
probably high and wrote this movie. I mean, I get it. None of this shit is supposed to make sense. I get it, but I don't know.
This
movie
movie
is
is
not supposed
literally
to make sense. It's just supposed to be a fucking funny, ridiculous, low budget movie.
Yeah, you give people 2 cases of beer and a camcorder and say, "Here, make this movie about a killer snowman."
Yeah.
I wonder
That's
what
what
the
you
budget
get.
was for that. I mean, I don't know if we want to know.
Oh, we want to know.
Yes, now we do.
Well, that is definitely the Michael Keaton one. Wow. What the fuck? Really?
Sounds like it's going to be shocking.
Talk amongst yourselves. I just have to vet this before I.
She's like, I don't know if this is fucking true.
Yeah.
I do remember that this is one of those video covers that, like, as you turn it, he goes from like a regular snowman to like the killer snowman.
Yeah, I do remember this cover though, on the VHS tapes and the DVD cases. I do remember that, so it's definitely memorable on some level.
So it doesn't actually say, but Michael Cooney said that it costed less than his catering budget for Identity.
I mean,
which he had a $30 million budget for the movie, not catering.
It's funny that he doesn't give a number.
Well, yeah, for the catering, yeah. He just says 30 million for his other movie because he probably doesn't want to admit what. Wow, on Rotten Tomatoes, Jack Frost only has a 7%.
I mean, is that really surprising?
Yeah, because some of the movies I see that have like a 30% or 40%, and I watch them and I can't get past like 20 minutes.
Is that the critic?
Because they're filmed so poorly.
The critics percent, or is that the audience?
Audience is 30. Critics are 7. But even then, 30.
Critics don't know shit, but 30.
Yeah, but that's better than Ghoulies. Wow. It's interesting.
I don't know about that. I don't know, maybe because it's a Christmas movie.
But it depends. Ghoulies, are we talking Ghoulies 3? Because Ghoulies 3,
that's
it had
the one
rating that bad. That's like, oh, that's bad too. Fuck it. Well, sorry guys, I couldn't get the budget. They only wanted to talk about the $30 million budget for his other movie to divert
you guys
away
work
from thinking about Jack Frost
and have some view into that world of dining and shit like that. So how much, especially you, Juliet, I'm sure you've catered some things.
Yeah, I mean, I catered the shoot we had in March, but you would need to know how many days of shooting and how many people, and then I could give you a better estimate. But I mean, if I could definitely do a deep dive on this if we're really interested, and let everyone know on the next episode what my professional opinion is on what they were quoted for catering. And because a lot of things, like, was it sandwiches, fruit trays,
I'm sure
filet mignon.
I'm sure the fucking catering on this one was not, it's probably cheese sandwiches and hot chocolate.
It was probably like canned pears with Miracle Whip and cheddar cheese shredded
canned
on it.
hams,
potted meat,
delicacy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. He was really trying to, but I mean, he did say it was so low budget that that's why he's the director, and everyone else, like, that's why he directed it, because he wasn't going to, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
Whatever.
Well, I mean, It is what it is.
I mean,
Jack
it's no
fucking
thanks
Frost.
killing. I'll tell you that.
There's no,
No.
thanks killing. It is not.
Oh man.
So, well,
But you
with
probably
that
don't
being,
like that one either, E.
I've seen that one, but I don't remember it.
Oh, there's always Thanksgiving next year.
There is.
Gobble gobble.
Gobble, gobble. We will gobble. One of us. So, yeah. Happy fucking Merry Christmas and Merry fucking Happy New Year.
Happy holidays, Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa Hanukkah.
Hanukkah has passed.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. And thanks for the great Francisco for joining us for
Yes,
this lovely
sir.
movie. And we
Thank y'all
apologize
for
that
having me.
it was this movie
You're
that
welcome.
you got to be on.
Oh, I think I gave it the highest score. So
You
no.
did.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm fine with it.
well, Shotzi, I think that you
Yeah.
were
Oh,
the,
yeah. I
for
mean, she's
someone
Oh.
present in the podcast. This
in the
podcast.
podcast. Yes.
This episode. Yes.
You did.
You
In
did.
person, yes.
But again, felt like there was wine involved when she watched it. So
As there
As
should
should
be.
be.
This is the movie that you should pop a fucking bottle of wine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just watch this movie,
Spirit.
people.
Yeah.
It's
Go
fun.
ahead, check it out. Especially if you like rapey snowmen with fucking carrot dicks.
Yep, exactly. And you
Yeah.
like wine.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. Check us out next time. We promise it won't be another Jack Frost movie.
Or do we promise that?
I
Jack
don't
Frost
know. We
2
do lie.
next episode.
yeah.
We don't know. We don't know. You don't know. No one knows.
Nobody
No.
knows.
Yeah. Thank y'all so much for
Oh.
having me.
Could be
Thank
the
you
case.
so much for being
Thanks,
on here.
Francisco. And everyone have a fucking great New Year and a Merry Christmas.
Have a good one.
See ya.
Well,
Bye.
hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
I hear you looking for candy, man, bitch.
Give me some sugar, baby. Like scary movies.
Want some candy?
Groovy.
You ever dance with the devil by the pale moonlight? We don't have to be mean.
Yeah, Jack Burton just looks that big old storm right square in the eye and he says, "Get away from her, you bitch!"
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Your move, creep.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.